Hi everybody. Okay, so today we are going to continue working on our Heidi Kenney plushies. So here's some examples here. We do have John Lee's carrot and Bella's little kitty cat. Now we are going to finish up my strawberry. I already cut out my pattern, and so I have my two pieces here that I need to sew together. Now I did have my little leafy green that's going to come out of the top of my strawberry, but first let's go on ahead and begin stitching. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is to thread your needle. This is the eye of the needle right here, that little loop that you may be seeing, and then here's the end of the thread. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to get the end in there, and this may sound a little gross, but sometimes you just need to put it in your mouth and get a little bit of saliva, not so much where it's like slobbery and gross, and you probably don't want to share the thread with someone else after you use it, but it does make all those little teeny tiny threads stick together so you can actually get it through the eye of the needle. Then you'll bring out a little teeny tiny tail. So after that, you can cross it to make an X, put your tail through the middle of the loop, and pull it, and it'll tie onto your needle so you don't have to keep threading it each time it falls off. Okay, so now you are ready to start your stitching. Okay, pick which area you want to start with. I'm going to pick the top corner of my strawberry, okay, the corner here, and I'm going to start by poking the needle through my plushie, and I'm going to pull it all the way through until I have a teeny tiny little tail hanging down. Maybe about 3 inches of a tail, so that looks good enough. Now the way we're going to stitch, we're going to do a simple running stitch all the way around, and we are going to poke it through again about 1/2 inch away from the last stitch, but we want it pretty close to the edge, and then you're going to poke it through there again, and you're always going to go through the same side, so always poke it through the bottom, pull it up through the top. Oh, my tail got caught. Pull my tail down. There we go. And see how that's starting to get together there? All right, poke it through the bottom, pull it through the top, pull it kind of snug. Snug, not too tight, because you don't want it to bunch up and look really bad. So keep on continuing doing that. Through, till it looks like it's getting wrapped around there real well. My tail still keeps getting caught. And if you have enough of your thread, you'll have another tail when you get completely finished that you'll be able to tie your other end to. Okay. See how they're starting to get some stitching there? Okay, let's go through again here. Okay. Now your stitches don't have to be completely perfect. That is completely fine. Some of you are going to have more even stitching than others. And we'll just see, and the more often you do this, the better you're going to get. So just keep on going through there all the way to the end. And then I'm going to go all the way around. So let me pause this and we'll do some movie magic where when I turn it back on, it'll look like it just magically appeared finished. Okay, so far I have stitched through all the way around except for about 3 inches right here at the top. I still have my tail from where I began, and then I also left my thread with my needle on it so I can finish it up here in a moment. But we're going to take a little bit of batting, little stuffing here, and I'm just going to open it up. And we're going to stuff it inside like so. And you can stuff it pretty full. You don't want it to completely fall apart, or you don't want stuffing to actually come through your stitching on the side, so you might not want to do it too much, but just enough where it looks real nice and plush, hence the name Plushies. Okay. That looks pretty good because I need to be able to close it up completely at the end. Now we almost forgot, I still have these leaves here that I want to have sticking out of the top. And what's going to happen is I'm going to have to sew this into it. So I have to sew through not only the pink part of my strawberry, but I'm going to have to sew through my leaves also. So I'm going to continue going through the same direction I was, but now I'm going to have to make sure the needle goes through not only the pink parts, but the green parts also. I have to trade my stitching in a little bit this way because I can no longer wrap around. So I'm just going to come in and out, kind of like a fish swimming in water, up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's going to go, it's come out here. Now we're going to go in here. I got to make sure it goes through both the leaves and the other pink. And it did okay. Now I got to do the same going back the other way. And that's why it's good to have a nice sharp needle, because you want it to go through all of your fabric. Yeah. I think I just picked just the perfect amount of thread. A lot of times I would have run out of thread by now, but I must have really judged that nicely. Oh, pulled it out just a little bit there. Push it back in. I need to go through. Make sure your fingers are on each side so you don't accidentally poke your finger. If you do, it's okay. Right now I'm almost to the end here, and I'm gonna go through this direction and pull it up. Now I've got just a little bit left, and look at that, it's already met my tail. If you do run out of thread, go on ahead and just get some more and start stitching and leave a little tail at the beginning like you did when we first started, and then the next tail that you leave for your second start, you can just tie them together. So you'll make your X like so, and then you'll wrap one around and go through the middle and tie it tight, kind of like when you start tying your shoes. You can also double knot this so it doesn't come apart, and if you want, you can trim off your ends. Don't cut through your knot though. I've already had a few accidentally cut through their knot, but you can leave it right there. So far there is my strawberry. And if I wanted to, I could get little pieces of other fabric and cut it and start adding like little dots to make it look like the seeds on the strawberry. Okay, so now we're about ready to finish up. I've already stitched up my whole strawberry all the way around, and then I do have this that I could probably trim off, but I'm just gonna leave it for now. I have my tacky glue. It still has the lid on it. Please don't lose that. And then I found these in the scrap bin. I thought those would be perfect to add my little seeds onto my strawberry. I also grabbed a couple of Google eyes because I love sticking eyeballs on things. You look how cute. And a little extra red that I could probably add a mouth. So I'm gonna need my scissors, and I'm gonna cut a few tiny little triangles here to glue down. And that's one of the great things about the scrap box, is instead of getting a whole new sheet and wasting all of that felt, I can just go in and grab somebody's scraps that would have normally been thrown away, and I can reuse them, so we're not wasting anything. Win-win. Okay, here we go. All right, and then I might make a little mouth out of this here. Okay. Okay, are you ready? Now it's time for the tacky glue. I've got my little seeds here, and you can either put a teeny tiny little dot, because you don't need a lot. A dot, not a lot. Oop. There you go. Stick them right on there. So let's take a closer look. One. And the good thing about this is it's not like Elmer's glue where a bunch of it's gonna come pouring out and you're gonna have rivers and rivers of glue everywhere. This is a little bit harder to get out, so it's a little harder to waste it, which is actually a really good thing. All right, now I'm ready to put on my mouth. If I wanted, I could use a Sharpie and kind of add the middle of the lips on this, which I might do when it is finished drying. Probably should have done before I glued it, but you know, here we are. I'm going to move this last one here down closer to the bottom. Put my lips on. So far. All right, now I'm going to put my tacky glue on the eyes here. Just a dot. And don't spread it out, just leave the glob. And then you can just put them right there or wherever you like to have them. Make sure you're only taking 2 Google eyes per person. I only have enough for everyone to have 2 or none. So if you don't want to put any on yours, that's fine. There's my little dude. This is Mr. Strawberry. He's really adorable. Okay. Might need to make his eyes a little more even, so I might move him around a little. Perfect. Hello. All right. So now you are ready to finish up your Heidi Kenney plushie. Okay, let's go.